sentence it is that you're currently writing. Once you're done with that sentence, please put your pencil down and your eyes up so I know you're ready to begin. People still writing, wrap it up. One long sentence for you, huh? Wonderful. All right, first things first, nobody in here got LaSalle today, so that means the entire class earns +2 workplace skills points. Nice job. Great way to start the unit. Anybody want to leave my power clap? Go ahead. You gotta own it though.
Power clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I bet I could get us to clap louder. Power clap in 3, 2, 1. See that? See that? Okay. So I'm looking for my super most observant student who can tell me what change that I made in my classroom. And don't tell me that it's a camera sitting in the back of the classroom. I get that. Looking for something else, a change I made in the front of my classroom. Dewan. No, I already called on you. Zebulon.
Instead of, is the question, is a part of the board now?
The question is a part of the board now. Yep, and that's exactly what it's called. The question, and that's what we're going to refer to as. Bring your eyes over here. Zebulon, where are you? Right over here. We've got something labeled the question. And it says, is change good? Which is the same question that you guys had on your do now. So we're going to do something a little bit different this unit, and we're going to do it from here forward. I wrote us a question, the question. And this is a question that we are going to visit every single day throughout this entire unit. It's vague. It's not specific. I know that, right? Like it's 3 words, is change good. But it's vague on purpose. So that every topic that we study throughout this unit, we can go back to this question and think, well, is change good? We can look to see if our opinion has changed, why it's changed, how it's changed, or if we still believe the thing that we believed right now on the very first day of the unit, and why we still believe that, using evidence from the entire unit, as well as from other classes, from your personal lives, from previous units, wherever. So I thought, what better way to start this unit? We're going to look at this question every single day. What better way than to start the unit by looking at the question? So that's why I had you guys write about it for your do now. It was purposely vague. I think we're going to get some varied answers, and that's quite all right. I just want to hear from you guys. What do you think is change good? We're going to start with Brianna, then we're going to go to Tatiana, then we're going to go to Samaya. Let's check our speakers. Brianna.
I feel change is good. For example, have you ever played a sport and tried the same play or routine over and over? However, you still didn't get any good results. By changing your routine or play, you will get the change in the results that could change the game forever. Additionally, during the time agriculture was flourishing, many people started to use animals and other tools such as sheep, buffalo, and horses, gunpowder, cannons, and ships. These all contributed to change and food change is good.
I already wrote her name down for a minute. I can see that's why you guys are giving snaps. I loved her answer. Why did I love Brianna's answer? What was so great about it, Marcia?
That, AP tactics and things that relates to this stuff.
Yeah, she took something that we learned in this class, something we learned all the way back in September, and connected it to this question. And that's exactly what I want you to do. And she also connected it to something, that could happen in your life today, right? And uses both of those things together, this class as well as her personal experience, to try to answer this question of is change good? So you're saying it's good, yes? Who was my next one? Tatiana, go ahead, sweetie.
I said, change is good because it makes you better than the person you know, thing. But yeah, when you change yourself, you're not changing yourself as a whole, you're changing something that will like to be that person that never did a homework and always had attitude. Said, but I'm changing myself. I started to do all my homework, but I'm still working on my attitude because other people see it as more fun to be around when I learn my attitude.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. I think in Tatiana's example, yeah, change is good, right? Like she's someone who struggled to do her homework and like new day, new unit, she's not gonna be that person anymore. That's a great answer. Samaya, what do you think? Is change good?
Yes, because like if everybody was afraid of change, we wouldn't have like a lot of stuff that we have now. And like we probably wouldn't have a president. Because like you know how, like presidents die. Like if we was afraid of change, like there wouldn't be another president to come after them.
So president would just die and that's it?
Yeah.
But isn't the president dying change itself?
Yeah.
Mm.
It changed in like 2 different ways.
It's changing in a different way. How?
And then did you say the way I said it?
Okay, so are both of those good? You're saying president dying, we need change because, we need a new president to replace him, and I'm saying the president dying himself is change, whether or not that person's replaced afterward or not. Are both of those good?
No.
But you just told me change was good.
Okay, just go with the first one.
Just go with the first. Forget the second example. The first example I gave worked, so we're just gonna go with that. Oh, you don't like it when I push you outside your little box, huh? Christina, what do you have to say?
I said change can also be for the worse, like trying to change someone's religion because it's only what they learn and what they know or believe is right, the right way.
What do you mean by that?
Like, take a terrorist for instance. He might preach the Quran, but like people probably try to make him like adapt to the American way, like the Quran is not the right way to go or whatever. So it can also affect him because he feel like he's getting forced to do something that he don't believe is right.
Potentially. Potentially. 1, 2, 3, 1.
I said it all depends on the type of change. Because like,
Tell us about that.
if you change for the better, like if you were a drug addict or something, then you went to rehab and got your life together, then that's good change. But if you like bad change would be if you vice versa got addicted to drugs when you never were around drugs. So then you take that from that.
So how are you defining like what makes it good and what's not good? You're giving me examples here, but you're not actually defining what is good and what is not good. You're just saying an example of good is this, an example of not good is this. What makes it good? What makes it not good or bad?
Okay, so like, what makes the first one good, like getting your life together, is like, well, you got your life together, and now 9 times out of 10, you get to be around your family more, and you get to experience more things in life. Get your life together, like get a job.
Why is that good?
Because like you cannot be a part of the normal community and be normal to society. Because if you're a drug addict, you not like, people don't think of you as a real human being.
So a person is good if they are a contributing member of society. Is that what you're saying or no?
If they're giving to the society in a good way and not a negative way. Like say,
So what they contribute defines whether or not it is good.
yeah.
Okay, Austin.
I said change is good because without change, we can live in the past. And for us to move forward, we must look past the present and decide what is best for the future. For example, without the tools created to make hunting and farming easier, and without the creation of homes and villages in the Neolithic period, we'd still be living in the Paleolithic period.
I love that. I love that. Right? In his example, we've got technological advancements all the way back to the beginning of the year that, in your opinion, you are defining those as good because otherwise we'd still be living in huts. And you think living in huts is not good. I guess you all are, by the giggles, are agreeing. All right, Naima.
I think it really depends on what exactly is being changed. Like change can be good and it can be bad. Like, and then I have some examples. Like, let's say like you have some bad study habits. Like you study but
you keep performing bad on tests, so then you change the way you study, and then you end up performing better. Or like on the other hand, let's say you decide to change like the type of paint you use in your house, and then but everybody else in your house is allergic to the paint, so everyone is in the hospital or something. That's like an example of bad change. So it really depends on like change can be good and bad. It depends on like who the person is and how it affects them.
So a situation can determine or change something to be good or bad. Something that's good in one situation can be bad in another situation. The example of the paint, right, could be bad for some people if they're allergic to it, but could be good for others because it's pretty, I guess. Okay. I feel like I'm hearing a lot of like change is good, change is good, change is good. I'm wondering if it's because the question says is change good? You're like, yeah, change is good. Why not? Is there anybody in here that wants to say, you know what? No, maybe it's not good. Nick's a contrarian. Go ahead, Nick. You love to disagree. Yes, that's Maya. Go ahead.
Well, I said change is good and bad, but I say what if change brings like change takes too long, change like creates like procedures that you have to do in order to get accustomed to that change. So yeah, change is good, but it takes a while to get there to that good point.
Can you give me an example of that, of something
Yeah.
that took
I
a
said-
really long time and maybe wasn't good at first but became good?
Well, I said that say for instance that you live in the city your whole life, not to move, because like your father or son got a new job. Yeah, you have all your friends and all your knowledge in one place and in one place. And you have to move to a new place, but it's for a good cause. But you still gotta redevelop new things and a new way to get accustomed to that place.
Can somebody give me an example from this class that would support Nick's argument there? That sometimes it's seen as bad. I'm thinking of a very specific example, so like you may or may not get it, I don't know. But at first it may be seen as bad, but eventually when people get used to it. Elijah?
Understand?
From this class, something that we talked about already in this class of, maybe it wasn't that great at first, but either it got better or people got used to it and began to accept it when at first they were resistant to it.
I was gonna say how we first went up to Cornell, nobody liked him, like it was difficult and like nobody knew like how to get him down, but like now like everybody doing this stuff, a lot of people don't get a sound like that.
That's true. He's saying he's using Cornell notes as an example. I was asking more for like a historical example, like something from like the class. But that's true. It's an example of in this classroom, right? Like at first people were resistant to it, and then eventually some people embrace it. Maybe some people see it as good, some people don't. That depends on the person. Mia.
I thought about the spread of Buddhism in China, because at first Confucianism was the main religion. And then when Buddhism came, and some people had started to accept it, but then some people didn't. So.
Right, like that's a perfect example of like, is change good of something we've talked about already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when it gets to China, they don't want Buddhism, right? Like we've got Confucianism. But eventually, over time, they start to accept it and it becomes a part of their culture and they see it as good. All right, I've got to take one more and then we've got to actually move on. We're going to visit this question at the end of every single class period. So we're going to spend the last 5 minutes of class today talking about this question in terms of what we learned today. I know you all have lots of things. I actually did hear from many of you. But I'm going to take Christina and then we're going to cut this here. And then I want you all to continue thinking about it as we talk about what we're going to talk about today. Christina and Nissa.
I still think change is bad.
You still think it's bad. Go ahead, explain.
Okay, so like, say you being well, sometimes it could be good. Like, say like, if you came from a majority of a Chicago public school, really you don't get forced to do your homework, then you come to a local school and you forced to do your homework, like some kids, it would just ruin them because they're forced to go to LaSalle, and they'll skip LaSalle to change, it would just go all down the drain.
Oh boy, I have so many things I could say back to that, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna hold it for later. Okay. So this page, if you haven't labeled it, is 2-3. Hopefully you were able to get